Last updated December 18, 2017, 6:31 p.m. EST. DuPont, Washington. An Amtrak train derailed on an overpass in Washington state Monday morning, with some of the 14 train cars careening onto vehicles on a highway below. The crash resulted in at least 3 confirmed fatalities and numerous injuries, and authorities are still combing through the wreckage to find victims. At this time, all southbound lanes of traffic remain closed on Interstate 5. Today's tragic incident in Pierce County is a serious and ongoing emergency, Washington Governor Jay Inslee wrote in a statement. Trudy and I are holding in our hearts everyone on board, and are praying for the many injured. They are our top priority, and I know first responders are doing everything to ensure everyone has the care they need. The Washington State Department of Transportation tweeted a photo of the derailment, urging motorists to avoid the area. All SP lanes of I-5 blocked near Mounts Road in Pierce County due to derailed train car. Avoid area. pic.twitter.com weblinks.tacoma traffic, @Tacoma, December 18, 2017. Authorities say the derailed train cars struck 5 motor vehicles and 2 semi-trucks on the highway. CBS News affiliate Cairo TV reports an official who was briefed on the investigation said preliminary signs indicate the Amtrak train may have struck something on the track before derailing, but it was too soon to determine the cause of the accident. First responders are treating the derailment as a mass casualty incident. Authorities have not yet provided details on injuries. Emergency crews are on the scene and the Amtrak management is responding, an Amtrak spokesperson said in a statement. Some injuries are reported. Service between Seattle and Portland is suspended for the time being. Amtrak Train 501, which departed shortly before 8 a.m. local time from Tacoma, was part of a new high-speed service that launched Monday morning. The train is able to carry up to 250 people, but Amtrak said there were approximately 80 passengers, 5 Amtrak crew members and 1 technician from Talgo, the train car manufacturer, on board at the time. The Cascades service from Seattle to Portland was supposed to be rated for a maximum speed of 79 miles per hour for the section where it derailed in DuPont, according to passenger Chris Carnes. Cairo TV reports the train was traveling at 81 miles per hour moments before the derailment. Carnes, who was on board the train when it derailed, said the emergency doors on the train were not functioning correctly after the crash and passengers had to kick out train windows to exit. We had just passed the city of DuPont and it seemed like we were going around a curve, Carnes said. And all of a sudden, we felt this rocking and creaking noise. And then all of a sudden it felt like we were heading down a hill, and the next thing that we know, we're being slammed into the front of our seats, and the windows are breaking, and then we stop, and there's water that's gushing out of the top of the train and all the lights go out and people are screaming. The tracks for this line were supposed to be upgraded to be able to handle higher speeds, he added. So, I'm not sure what happened at this juncture. CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve reports the train tracks themselves are not owned by Amtrak, they're maintained by a freight railroad. The tracks, known as the Point Defiance Bypass, are owned by Sound Transit, the Washington State Department of Transportation wrote in a statement. The tracks were previously owned by BNSF and were used for occasional freight and military transport. Washington train derailment is latest in string of Amtrak accidents. Motorist Craig Mackay, who witnessed the derailment from the highway, described the incident as really scary stuff. We suddenly had to go from our 60 miles per hour down to 0 as fast as possible, he said. We were all avoiding one another to try and avoid a collision there. We saw smoke and the passenger train hanging from the overpass and on the freeway. A photo taken by a Washington state trooper showed one car of the train smashed upside down on the highway and another hanging off the bridge above it. The cause of the derailment remains under investigation. An NTSB team is being sent from Washington, D.C., to investigate the incident. Follow along with live updates below. All times are Eastern unless otherwise noted. 6:50 p.m. Official. At least 3 killed in crash. At least 3 people were killed when a high-speed Amtrak commuter line derailed Monday morning, Joint Information Center Pio Sora Foster told CBS News. 6:29 p.m. Amtrak, about 80 passengers on board. About 80 passengers were on board the train that derailed near DuPont, Washington, Amtrak said in a statement, along with 5 Amtrak crew and a Telgo technician. The figures had fluctuated a bit throughout the day. Amtrak spokesperson Gabe Olson said the train was not filled to capacity and that Amtrak is very grateful there weren't more people involved, the Associated Press reports. 3:40 p.m. Amtrak CEO discusses Cascades Train 501 incident. Train 501 derailed at 7:33 a.m. PT, with some cars leaving an overpass to Interstate 5. Amtrak president and co-CEO Richard Anderson said on a conference call with reporters. The train consisted of 14 cars, 12 Telgo passenger cars, each containing 38 seats, which serviced business class, coach cars and bistro service, and 2 locomotives. We had a very tragic event this morning, Anderson said. On behalf of everyone at Amtrak, I want to express that we are deeply saddened by all that has happened today. Our very first concern is taking care of everyone on board. We will fully and completely and openly cooperate with the NTSB. Asked if positive train control, PTC, a system designed to prevent train collisions, was activated at the time of the derailment, Anderson responded, no. Anderson said he was unable to provide an update on the number or nature of injuries sustained in the crash. Anyone seeking information related to the train derailment should call Amtrak at 800-523-9101. 2:43 p.m. NTSB provides updates on derailment. NTSB board member Bella Denzer held a news conference in Washington, D.C. to provide updates about the ongoing investigation. Asked about the death toll, she responded, "We leave that to the local authorities to report. We are aware of the fact this was called an inaugural run of this service, but we want to check and make sure what that exactly means and find out more information about that specifically," she told reporters. "It's a little bit too early to know right now whether the crash was speed-related," Denzer said. 20 NTSB investigators are headed to the scene. 2:06 p.m. Trump addresses derailment in speech. During his speech unveiling his administration's national security strategy, Mr. Trump commented on the Amtrak derailment. "Let me begin by expressing our deepest sympathies and most heartfelt prayers for the victims of the train derailment in Washington state," Mr. Trump said from the Ronald Reagan Building in Washington, D.C. "We are closely monitoring the situation and coordinating with local authorities. It is all the more reason why we must start immediately fixing the infrastructure of the United States." 1:56 p.m. President Trump responds to derailment. President Trump responded to Monday's train derailment on Twitter, saying the accident shows more than ever why our soon-to-be-submitted infrastructure plan must be approved quickly. The train accident that just occurred in DuPont, WA shows more than ever why our soon-to-be-submitted infrastructure plan must be approved quickly. $7 trillion spent in the Middle East while our roads, bridges, tunnels, railways, and more, crumble. Not for long. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, December 18, 2017. Mr. Trump sent a second tweet offering his thoughts and prayers to those affected by the derailment. "My thoughts and prayers are with everyone involved in the train accident in DuPont, Washington. Thank you to all of our wonderful first responders who are on the scene. We are currently monitoring here at the White House." Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, December 18, 2017. 1 p.m. Family Reunification Central Family Reunification Center has been set up at DuPont City Hall, Cairo TV reports. Anyone with questions about friends or family who traveled on the derailed train should call 901-523-9101. 12:35 p.m. Train passengers, motorists hospitalized at CBS News correspondent Chris Van Cleve reports first responders have set up triage tents at the scene. A spokesperson with St. Joseph's Medical Center says a total of 77 patients are being transported to hospitals in Pierce and Thurston counties. 4 of the patients will be treated for severe injuries. Patients will also be sent to Street Clare Hospital, St. Anthony Hospital, and Tacoma General Hospital. 11:58 a.m. Fatalities confirmed. Cairo TV reports the sheriff's office confirms fatalities among passengers on the train. The death toll has not been released at this time. Breaking, an up-close photo of the trail derailment near Lacey. Sheriff's office confirms fatalities, people trapped. 70 people were on board, according to real-time updates. T.co weblink pic.twitter.com weblink Cairo 7, at Cairo 7 Seattle, December 18, 2017. Multiple motorists were reported injured on the roadway, however, no fatalities among drivers have been reported at this time. At context, schema.org, at type, video object, thumbnail URL, https, weblink train derails, dangles over interstate in Washington, description, live CBSN coverage of Amtrak Train 501 derailment on an overpass in Washington, blocking cars on Interstate 5 inches, content rating, PG-13, video quality, 720p, publication, at type, broadcast event, is live broadcast, through, start date, 2017 12/18 T 18:19.000Z, upload date, 2017 12/18 T 18:19.000Z.